Hello everyone, today is 26th of October. My name is Sahil and welcome to the newspaper analysis. Friends, today we'll take a quote from great APJ Abdul Kalam. He says, "Knowledge without action is useless and irrelevant. Knowledge with action converts adversity into prosperity." Now, friends, this particular idea also correlates with the idea given in Bhagavad Gita, where it has been said that knowledge with action, that is, Gyan with Dharma, is equal to life, whereas stagnation and inactivity is akin to death. Therefore, into the life of every civil servant, this should be the foundational value. So, guys, we can use this particular quote in our GS paper number 4, Ethics. Now, guys, first of all, let's take the important articles for today. Guys, today Hindu paper has not been published onto the occasion of the Vijayadashmi, so today Hindu paper is not there. Now, we'll be taking some attachments from the PIB. Guys, here you can see that the Prime Minister has made an address of Man Ki Baat. And guys, here some very good references has been given which can directly be utilized in our GS answers. Then guys, the second here we will be taking about the national conference onto the vigilance and anti-corruption which has been launched by the Prime Minister. And guys, this particular thing we can utilize in our GS paper number 4. Guys, other things are not important into the PIB. It is just about the Prime Minister's greeting and all such kind of thing. After that, guys, we have taken this particular article from the Business Standard which is talking about the impact of recently RBI announced debt restructuring scheme. Then guys, this particular article I have taken from the Financial Express and it is talking about the need of an Indian SpaceX. Then guys, this particular article, it is talking about the knowledge economy and how such kind of idea needs to be explored now. So guys, this is all about the important articles that we'll be taking, and now let's take the newspaper analysis in detail. Now guys, first of all, taking certain important references from the Man Ki Baat 2.0 episode number 17. Now guys, often into the Prime Minister's speech, President's speech, you will be finding some references which could be highly relevant for our exam. Now, the first reference which was given here was with respect to the globalization which we can utilize in our GS paper number 1, and often the questions directly has been asked. Now guys, when talking about the globalization, it pertains to the free flow of goods and services across the boundaries unfettered. Now guys, post 1990s, it has been said that the world has turned hypermobile. Now guys, earlier when the two blocks were existing, one was of the USSR and other was of the USA, the mobilization was partly blocked because of the suspicions etc which was raised. But as these particular things broke down, the globalization has become an irreversible fact. And this was also the time, that is the 1991, that India also took the LPG reforms. So after that, the globalization has become very much important. Now guys, India had made an influence into the Mexico, and guys, there the Oaxaca khadi is very much popular. Now guys, Oaxaca khadi is an example as how India's influence is being spread out the overseas. Now this particular khadi was first introduced by a person, Mark Brown, into the Mexico, who saw a documentary onto the Gandhiji and was very much inspired by the khadi, and he had actually called khadi the symbol of dharma in motion. And guys, as far as Mexico, India's brand value has traveled, we can put it as a reference. Now guys, the one more reference was given here, that was the Malkham. Now Malkham, the Malla, it means the wrestler, and the Kham means the pole. So the Malkham literally means the pole wrestling. Now what happens here, guys, you can see here into the picture that there is one wrestler who is showing certain acrobats onto this particular pole. And basically this sport has become very much important in countries such as the USA, Poland, Malaysia. And guys, now more than 20 countries are practicing this Malkham, and even the world championship onto the Malkham is also going to be held. So this can also be an example as how India's sports have also been globalized and is being practiced in so many of the countries. Now, guys, as talking about the Malkham, the Chalukyas and Marathas were practicing the Malkham, and Rani Lakshmi Bai also practiced the Malkham. Now, guys, even the Madhya Pradesh has become the first state to declare Malkham as their state sport, and after that, even other states have also done. Then, guys, after these two examples of globalization, we will see certain references for our GS paper number 2 under the topic of the education. Now, guys, the Prime Minister has talked about the joy of reading, and into this particular thing, reference of Pon Mariappam has been given. Now, guys, he is a hairdresser into the Tamil Nadu, Thothukudi, which is also called as the Pearl City of South India. And guys, being a hairdresser, he had made a particular section into his shop where he had made a very small library. And if people read the books into that library and devote some time, then he gives certain discount. So, guys, the Pon Mariappam, he could be an example of a knowledge ambassador, that is, the people who spread the knowledge. And onto the similar lines, there are certain NGOs also which are doing some kind of such kind of work, that is the Vikas Vartul Trust and the Pustak Parab. These two NGOs are from the Gujarat, and they are promoting the culture of book reading into the people from the deprived sections. They provide them the book, they operate libraries and all such kind of things. Friends, the importance of education has even been underscored into the Gita, and in Gita it has been said that Nahi Gyanem Sadrishyam Pavitra Mahe Vidyate. It means that nothing is more sacred into this world than the knowledge. After that, guys, into the conquest of the Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan, the example of the Pulwama has been given, where the people have utilized their own indigenous resources and have achieved a kind of a self-sufficiency. Economic opportunities have been provided to the indigenous people also. Now, guys, first of all, if I tell you some facts, then the Kashmir provides more than 90% of the wood for the pencils. And guys, particularly the chinar wood of Kashmir is very much important for making the pencils. And the Pulwama has important plantations for the chinar wood. There are certain people who identified it, and they are now supplying the wood for the pen to the pencil makers, and had generated so much of employment. So this could be one very good example. Then, guys, with respect to the GS paper number 3, some very good examples have been given. First of all, the example from the Jharkhand has been given, where the Ajivika Farm Fresh app has been made by an NGO, and by the help of this particular app, now hundreds and thousands of farmers are able to sell their vegetables directly to the customers, and it has increased the price discovery for the individual farmers. Then, guys, the next example, it is this is here, is about the e-platform farm card. Now, this is a portal which has been made into the Madhya Pradesh by a person, Atul Patidar, and under this particular platform, the farmers are being connected with the suppliers which provide the agriculture essentials such as the seeds, farm equipment, etc. And guys, these particular things can be delivered to their doorstep. And during the time of the lockdown, this particular platform provided the services to more than 4,000 of the farmers. Guys, here even the equipments can also be leased to the farmers, and for some important things where the farmer need an equipment but doesn't have a capacity to buy, can take it here onto the rent. So, guys, these are some of the very good references which we can directly utilize it into your answers. So that's it. Now we'll be moving to the next article. Now, guys, this particular article is very important for our GS paper number 4, where the measures for the transparency, integrity, probity, etc. has been mentioned, as well as it can also be utilized in answers of the GS paper number 2, good governance. Now, guys, what has happened here? The Prime Minister has inaugurated the National Conference on Vigilance and Anti-Corruption. Now, guys, first of all, this particular conference is organized every year by the CBI around the Vigilance Awareness Week, which falls around the end of the October. It starts from 27th of October. Now, this is a good practice which is being undertaken by the CBI, and it actually works on raising the awareness, as well as it reaffirms India's commitment towards the integrity, probity in public life, through the citizen participation. Now, guys, into this particular conference, the policy makers, the policy practitioners, they come together on a common platform and try to identify that how the problems of the transparency can be resolved into the public administration. Now, guys, this particular year, here the themes with respect to the challenge in investigation in foreign jurisdictions, preventive vigilance as a systemic check against the corruption, systemic improvements for financial inclusion, prevention of bank frauds, effective audit as an engine of growth, latest amendments to the Prevention of Corruption Act. Then the issues such as the capacity building and training, multi agency coordination. After that, the emerging trends into the economic offenses, cyber crimes, and transnational crimes, organized crimes. All these kind of things, guys, will be discussed here, and their sustainable solutions will be tried to be identified. Now, guys, you don't need to follow that what will actually be happening onto this thing. Rather, if a question comes onto the examples that government is taking for promoting the good governance or the ethical governance, there you can provide this particular reference. Guys, just if you remember, 2 days back I had discussed the integrity pacts which were facilitated by the CVC. That example you can provide. Moreover, this particular also you can talk about. So that's it. Now we'll be moving to the next article. Now, guys, this particular article talks about the recently announced RBI's loan restructuring scheme, and it shows that actually it is not having any impact onto the corporate sector. Now, guys, this particular thing is important with respect to our GS paper number 3, the economy and related issues. Now, guys, if I tell you, as the lockdown was announced and the markets were closed, the corporates are facing large number of problem. Their balance sheets are stretched. And guys, according to the KV Kamath committee report which was presented to the RBI, it was said that more than 15.52 trillion rupees worth of loan they are under the stress. And actually, if nothing is done to evade this particular stress, then our India's corporate sector could go into the shambles. Now, guys, RBI announced that these corporates, they will be given a window of the loan restructuring. Now, into the loan restructuring, what happens? Suppose one person taken a loan of 1000 crore rupees, and if this loan was to be payable in 10 years at a particular interest rate, for example at 8% per annum interest rate. Now, into the loan restructuring, it could be said that okay, you have paid the 2 years of installment, now 8 years this tenure, it is being converted into 20 years. Moreover, this interest rate, it is being relieved. Now you don't need to pay 8%, you just need to pay 7% of interest rate. So this is the loan restructuring. Now, guys, it has been said that by loan restructuring, the problem of NPA could be minimized, because then the loan will become more serviceable. Now, guys, it has been said that the corporates will not are not taking this RBI's new intervention, because they have a big fear, that is the impact which this restructuring will be making onto their credit rating. Now, guys, first of all, you need to make a distinction that it is different from the credit score. Now, credit score is that numerical score that is given to every person based on to his dealings in his financial dealings. Now, it has been said that such restructuring will not be having impact onto the credit score, but actually when the big amount loans are taken by the corporates, the lenders, they not only see their score, but they also see their performance into the past few years. And there, if it is found that any loan has been restructured, then basically it gives a kind of a negative impact, and it shows the poor fiscal health of a corporate, and many cases they altogether cannot borrow money from the overseas where the interest rates are very low, and this particular thing will be problematic into the long term. Now, guys, if any firm is not having very good financial history, then they will be given the money at the high interest rates, and because the quantum of loan is so much, even 1% hike can make a very serious impact. So, guys, even after such kind of a problem, the corporates are not finding the RBI's new scheme more lucrative. Now, guys, if we see here, then, guys, corporate debt accounts more than 29% of a post-COVID stress which has been brought onto the banking sector. And here, if these corporates are not coming forward, then it can lead to a much more serious problem into the times to come. So, guys, this is all about this particular article. Now we'll be moving to the next article. Now guys, this particular article, it is important under the GS paper number 3 topic of indigenization of the technology as well as space. Now guys, into the article it has been said that just a few days back, the SpaceX, the American commercial space company, it has launched 60 satellites into the lower earth orbit as a part of their bigger Starlink project. Now guys, if I talk about the Starlink project, it is the initiative where more than 30,000 satellites will be launched into the lower earth orbit by the SpaceX, and the idea here is to be built a constellation of satellites which can provide the satellite internet access to the people. Now guys, satellite internet access means that the affordable high quality internet will be provided. Now, turning to the Indian scenario, guys, into the India, we don't have the good quality internet and we don't have the infrastructure of enough satellites that they can meet such kind of demands. According to the TRAI, that is the Telecom Regulatory Authority of India, data consumption has increased more than 100 times into the last 5 years. For example, in 2015, 0.1 GB per subscriber data was being used, whereas now 11 GB per subscriber data is being consumed in March till March 2020, and this particular thing will be further increasing with the time. And guys, as more facilities are being provided onto the internet, India's need for the high speed internet will be emerging, but we don't simply have any capacity into this particular field. Guys, though ISRO is doing some good, very good things, but now the response on even bigger scale is to be given. Just a few days back, Airtel bought a stake into the OneWeb, which is a UK based corporation, and it is also basically launching some hundreds of satellites onto the lines of the Starlink project of the SpaceX. Now guys, such Airtel's acquisition of a stake into the OneWeb shows that India is not having any indigenous player into the satellite internet access. Therefore guys, India indigenous facilities into this particular aspect are needed to be ramped up, and government needs to act very fast. Now, just a few days back, government started the Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan, and there it has said that the space sector will be opened for the private corporates. Now, guys, even the last week, certain guidelines have been announced, but it has been said that such guidelines and such initiatives should not be like the earlier ones. For example, in 2000, under the government of the Atal Bihari Vajpayee ji, space sector was opened for the private players. But guys, for next 10 years, the guidelines were not actually announced. For the first time in 2010, guidelines were announced after a gap of 10 years, and then the huge network system of the USA offered certain facilities to India and said that the applications will be built which will provide the internet faster, 100 times more faster than what India needed at that point of time. But guys, even till today, the huge network system has not been given the green light. And guys, now it has been said that we are into the wake when the fourth industrial revolution, internet of things, artificial intelligence are becoming so much important. So now, on to the serious considerations, government should bring the private sector into the space sphere. So guys, that's all about this particular article. Now we'll move to the next article. Now guys, this particular article, it is talking about the idea of the knowledge economy, and it is very important for our GS paper number 2 as well as GS paper number 3. Now guys, into this particular article, a very good basic quote has been given, that is, the national prosperity is created, not inherited. It has been said that in any country, the prosperity or the wealth of the country is dependent on three factors, that is the demography or the population, the labor that they can give. Then it depends on to the transparency in administration, because then the resource utilization will be good. And third, the value of the currency. And guys, into this particular thing, the labor or the demography is the most important one. Now when we talk about the countries such as Singapore, there they are basically onto the top ranking. Why? Because of the good education system, and the Singaporean culture is such that it makes the education as a part of their national agenda. Now, guys, it has been said that any country's competitiveness, it is dependent on the capacity of industry to innovate or to upgrade the new technologies. If the industries will be competitive, the country's competitiveness will become good. Take the example of the America in terms of the big tech. Take the example of the European Union in terms of high quality cars. Take the example of Switzerland in terms of luxury watches and all such kind of thing. So guys, all these countries or blocks have their unique competitiveness. Why? Because specific industries into their countries have a very good capacity to innovate and upgrade, and working on to that they have built their niche. Now guys, it has been said that some countries have high prosperity, some countries have low prosperity. This difference is simply because of the collective knowledge that is there. So if the general population will have very high level of knowledge, then basically prosperity as a whole will increase. And this particular idea is called as the idea of economic involvedness, where your population's education level defines your prosperity level. Now guys, into the complex economies, excellent collective knowledge is there into the people. Now the collective knowledge means that in what particular way the knowledge is distributed into the entire society, whether everybody is having the good education or where only few people have extraordinary education and others don't have the good education. And if this particular thing is equally distributed, then a knowledge society emerges where the innovation happens to be the core defining parameter. Now first of all guys, when we are talking about the innovation, this particular word has a broad meaning. That is, innovation into these knowledge economies, they are not only into the manufacturing but into the way a thing is being done, into the processes, into the management. In every aspect there will be the innovation. And guys, any company or any economy which is high onto the innovation, their core competency will improve, their competitive advantage will be much more higher. Guys, just take the example of a Swedish firm, Volvo. Now Volvo has worked on to increasing the knowledge, and they have innovated repeatedly onto the safety. And today in terms of safety, there is no substitute for the automobiles being made by the Volvo. Now guys, by knowledge system the innovation came, and by continuously innovating on one particular front, you can actually make a brand which don't have any substitute into the world. And by this particular thing, by knowledge, a country will be reaping high economic dividends. Now guys, a case study of Japan has also been given into this particular article. It has been said that Japan have 100% enrollment into the compulsory grade, there is 0% illiteracy. And guys, because of this particular thing, it is number one onto the innovations also. Now guys, one particular strategy of the Japan has been discussed. It has been said that the Japan's manufacturing gives a too much reliance onto the outsourcing of the products. Now guys, and because of this particular outsourcing, Japan has made the firms which are the captive suppliers rather than the competitors. Now guys, actually what happens when a firm learns a technical know-how, it comes into the competition and profitability for everybody is reduced. But guys, Japan has work focused so much onto the outsourcing and so much of the specialized niche these suppliers have made, that now they altogether don't want to come become the competitors of the major firm. Now guys, this particular thing can also be utilized into the context of India. And guys, we also need to focus on to making our demography as a knowledge based demography. Their technical skills, their educational skills, their vocational skills, they are needed to be pushed further, so that this particular knowledge society tag India can also achieve. Now guys, as just an attachment, you have seen that just few days back new education policy 2020 has been announced, and there much domain specialization such as the coding and data programming, all these kind of things have been mentioned. So these particular things also not needed only to be there onto the paper, but actually they should be implemented so that the knowledge tag can be achieved as soon as possible. And onto the lines of Japan, we can also innovate and can make our own specific domain. So guys, this idea has been given a very good article. Now guys, that's all about this particular thing. I hope that you are liking our initiative. Thank you so much.